Okay guys, this is gonna be my first video putting up and as far as the Patriot movement goes, and I have decided to make the right to travel issue kind of my thing, at least starting out, and hopefully I will be able to cover different more things that I have been doing and keep you updated on that. But for now, we're just going to talk about the right to travel issue and kind of go over some stuff that I've researched and try to keep you updated on what I found and stuff. Um, a lot of you has probably, most of you in the Freedom, Liberty, Patriot movement has probably seen this article around many, many times. I know I have. I've seen it and heard about it many, many times. And it's, do you know who owns your car? And it was supposedly from the investigative reporter from October 1996. Now, I have been trying to track down this article and find out who wrote it and maybe track down that guy and find out how they found out about it and try to get the case number and the transcripts, sorry about that, from the case and everything to try to just to have more evidence and stuff for the court or just to show everybody and everything, but I can't seem to find it as of right now. I did do a little bit of tracking down and calling around, but I don't know what's going on with this. But if anybody knows where to get this article or where exactly this come from, if it did come from the investigative reporter, if they had that article or know or found out who had this article or who published it or where it might be or anything like that, can you please contact me? Anyway, let's continue what this says. And it says, on February 10th, 1987, Tennessee Department of Revenue Operations Supervisor Denise Roto to Dodge Greer how Tennessee's auto registration works. The process begins with the surrender of the Manufacturer Statement of Origin (MSO) by the auto dealer to the Department of Revenue in exchange for a certificate of title. Asked if a MSO is proof of ownership legal title to the automobile, Ms. Roto said yes. Are you telling me that the ownership of an automobile is not title, it's merely evidence that title exists? Your car's legal title is the MSO, which the dealer surrendered to the state. Ms. Rodo said the MSO is put on microfilm for permanent keeping. The original destroyed after the trial. Spectators expressed shock that their personal automobiles were actually owned by the state. No wonder state law officers stop people for no reason, said a housewife. If your car's got a Tennessee plate, it's theirs, and they can do anything they like to you. It's the law, but it's voluntary. No one but Judge Greer had dared say if you don't surrender your car to the state in exchange for plates, you go to jail. Editorial note: this is not true only for Tennessee, but for the other 49 states as well. When purchasing a new automobile, the buyer is required to sign fine print which authorizes the dealer to obtain plates and registration for the vehicle. Purchaser need only to read this fine print to see that by doing this they are authorizing the dealer to act a power of attorney, and by doing so the prospective buyer is signing away his rights to that vehicle. When buying a used vehicle, the title already has been signed over to the state. And then there's a second article here. If you think, and this kind of talks about what the first one talks about. If you think you own your car outright, you don't. Look at what you think of as the title to your vehicle. It says certificate of title, not title. It just certifies that there is a title. Also known as you are only listed as registered owner, not owner. The words owner may be on it somewhere, but where it counts, you'll see that sneaky word registered in front. Without realizing it, when you registered your car and signed a registration application, you granted the state you live in a trustship over your car. It's another one of those nasty, fraudulent contracts you entered into ignorantly. Who owns your car is the holder of the certificate of origin, which is issued by the vehicle manufacturer and mailed to your DMV when the car is originally sold as new. I work at a car dealership and know this to be absolutely true. I have seen the certificate of origin being mailed to the DMV. Okay, I actually clicked on this link and it doesn't say too much on there. It talks about a guy and everything, but it doesn't actually say anything about how to remove it and all that good stuff. Uh, Now here it says, after you have read the law book above and filed for and have received your diplomatic immunity by, from what I understand, filling out the UCC, you may want to place this diplomatic immunity plate on your ride. These plates do not give you diplomatic immunity. They are not $12 each. Then, okay. Now here is this is a book that Mr. I can't pronounce his last name, Badnerick wrote. I think that's right. I don't know. I probably am wrong on pronouncing his last name. Badnerick. Let's see. It should let me make this bigger. Here it is. Okay, it's called Good to Be King, and you can get this brown nose for free on his website, and his website is called constitutionalpreservation.org. And he kind of goes in this too about the allodial title and everything, and the MCO. And I thought maybe I would go over this too with you guys. Says you probably don't own your car the way you think you do. If I give you a gift certificate, do you have the gift or just a piece of paper that represents that gift? When you finish making payments on your auto loan, whoops. Does the bank send you the title to the car or simply a certificate of title? The certificate of title is a piece of paper that only represents the title of the car. Each car that is manufactured has an MCO or manufacturer certificate of origin. That is the true title for the car. Because most cars are purchased on a payment plan, the dealer sends the MCO to the state agency that controls the registration of vehicles. Which that would be, as far as I know, the Department of Revenue. The MCO is microfilmed and then shredded to make it much more difficult for you to obtain the actual title. If you are able to pay cash for your car and you know enough to demand the MCO as part of the purchase agreement, it is possible for you to purchase an automobile and own it the way you currently believe that you own it. The figure on the next page shows a copy of an MCO obtained by a Patriot friend of mine. He is not required to register his car with the state, and he travels in it without license plates. All of this is perfectly legal, though you may immediately have some difficulty convincing the police officer who has detained you for what appears to be a traffic violation. Okay, let's go. Let's see. And here it is. Certificate. See, it's actually called a certificate of origin for a vehicle. And here's what it looks like. Oh, well, let's see. Go back down here so we can maybe we can try to fit this. Well, that's what it looks like. You guys can look this up yourselves. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about that certificate of origin because, as you've seen in these articles, that certificate of origin plays that's actually a really big one as far as your right to travel. That's part of it. And reading this, I got to where I was like, well, I guess I need to try to get that, and that's how I come to start this journey and why I'm putting up this video. I have been actually able to obtain my certificate of origin for my vehicle, and it's actually a 1996 Dodge Ram 1500. I'm not exactly sure why that wants to pop up, or why it wanted to. And originally, what I did was I called the local licensing bureau, and I was talking to them about the microfilm and if it's possible to get it, and could I unregister my vehicle or swap out my title for my manufacturer certificate of origin. And I've heard that some states allow you to do that. I haven't looked into all of the states yet or anything, but I will be looking into that and posting information on the web. And there was two ladies that I talked to. The first one, I was asking her all these questions, and they was asking me if it was a new vehicle, and I was like, no. And she was saying that uh, she was saying something about you have to have a driver's license, and you have to, in order to get plates, you have to do this and that. And I was saying, well, according to law, you don't have to, and there's no law that says you have to surrender your certificate of origin, and as long as you have that, that is basically your Alladale tile, and you own it, and because you own it, you don't have to have license plates or get uh, tags on it or have a driver's license or anything, because it's all contractual, and you can do, she was like, and she kept saying, trying to rebut me and say that you did and da 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 da, and I was like, no. And I said, because I told her, I said, I looked into this, into the law and everything, and I did. And I was telling her all this, and the only thing she could do was, uh, and then the last thing out of her mouth was, well, you'll have to go to the state for that. And she was like, it was like I was, caught on to it. So I'm pretty sure she knew what I was talking about, and I think she was just, didn't want nobody to know, or, whatever, to know. And I've heard that particular place had actually got in trouble, but I don't know if that's true or not or what happened. But I know they moved a couple of times, and I know they was shut down for a while. But that's another day, another story, and I really don't care about that particular agency. So I thought, well, I don't know how to get this, because I looked at a bunch of forums, and there's a lot of places on there where people do, where you can find that do you own your car uh, article, and a lot of people write about that. Like I said, you can find it on like the Ron Paul forum and a whole bunch of Liberty forums, and just like that, the Freedom site and everything. And a lot of people talk about it, and like you read in the first couple of articles, that you sign it away in the fine print, and if you can, don't sign your read the fine print and demand the MCO, don't let them, you know, don't tell them you don't give them power of attorney, don't sign anything that gives them power of attorney, tell them you want your manufacturer's the certificate of origin, that you don't want to get it registered, and or that you will take care of it. And so there's things you can do as far as that, but it leaves the question, well, what about people who have already signed it over? And that's where uh well, I got those calling around, and after I talked to those two girls, and I thought, well, maybe I figured, well, I think I'll just call Dodge and see if I can't get a duplicate or a copy. And I was going to try to do a FOIA Privacy Act request, and I don't know if anybody has ever done this, but I might even try to do that too. And then try to do that and send it off to the Department of Revenue and tell them I want my original, that I'm the vehicle, and send maybe a copy of the certificate of title, and tell them I want my original manufacturer statement of origin, and try to get that, get that way, or maybe you can do it that way. And so I've never tried that. So that might be another way that you can obtain it. And then I have heard, like I said earlier, that you can fill out a form, and surrender your certificate of title, and you can get your manufacturer or certificate of origin back. Uh, I, after going reading these articles and calling around and all of that stuff, was able to obtain my certificate of origin for my vehicle. And I called Dodge and asked them if it was possible. I just called them and said, basically, I heard that your certificate of origin was your out title, and that was a true title to your vehicle, and the certificate of title was not. And because you have a certificate of title on your vehicle, that basically means that you have to have license plate, and the state that basically the state owns your car, and you have to have license plates and tags and insurance and driver's license and all this other stuff. And that I was really wanting to get that a copy, or maybe another one or duplicate or anything I could, and asked them if it was possible. And she got to looking on the computer, and sure enough, she sent me. She ended up sending me an email with an affidavit, and I started a right to travel group. Let's see. I'll try to pull that up if I can. I actually have that. I started right to travel group, like I said, and it's just go to groups.yahoo.com, and then where it says search groups, just type in right to travel, and it should pop up. And I have the affidavit there for you to fill out and send with the fax numbers to send it to, and it's real easy to fill out. I'll try to bring up the email with what the affidavit looks like, and like I said, I already have it on the website, all my group's website. Let's see, we want last. Okay, here's what the Chrysler sent me. It's called the Application and Affidavit for Duplicate Certificate of Origin for a Vehicle. And then what you want to do is you want to fill out your state, country. So you put just like United States, state, put your state, country, United States, VIN, make, year, model. And then down here you want to date it and sign it, and then print your name, and then title, as you want to put owner. Dealer would be none or NA. Address, your address, full address, and then you want to have the notary sign all of this, and then you want to fax it, and then I have all that fax information on, like I said, on there too. Let me pull up that fax information actually. Let's see. Here it is. So it was the next day that they sent me the she put it in the system, and then the next day they assigned me a caseworker, which it was Jonathan Sanders, and then it was 11/8, so 11/8. Uh-oh. Well, shoot. Well. Just go on the right to travel group, and then the affidavit information is there. I'm not gonna mess with this right now, I don't think. Okay. So, It took about a month, and I faxed it in and he got it, and he said it would take about a month, and then I would get it, and guess what, guys? I got it. So you can get your certificate of origin, and I'm going to show you pictures to show you that I did get it. Proof is in the pudding, guys. Here it is. Oh, okay. So let this pull up here. Maybe it'll let me. Well, let's see. I'm trying to pull this up for you guys. So it's wait a minute, there it goes. Oh, maybe it's not going. Yeah, it is. There it goes. It's trying to pull it up. Loading. Up, here it is, guys. Here it is. Let me try to pull up all the. Okay, here it is. Duplicate, the original certificate dated 5/1996 has been reported lost. This duplicate is issued on 1/9/2003. There it is. See, it's called a certificate of origin for a vehicle. Chrysler, Dodge, pickup, da 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 da. And then, let's see. Let me show you another picture of it by my. Hopefully it'll bring this one up too. There it goes. Okay. And there's the picture. Here's the picture of my current title voided out. I put demand for lawful money on there because of well, the Department of Revenue, USC 12 demand lawful money da 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 da. And well, there it is. There's the one I just got. There's my old one. So there it is, guys. And there's the diplomatic plates. That's just what they look like. Not responding. Well, I'm not gonna wait on it. You can look at it on the other website. See if it pulls it up now. Is it gonna? Nope. Okay, that's it for my first vehicle, and I hope this has inspired you. And I'm going to try to call Ford too and see if I can't get my mom and dad's certificate of origin for their vehicles too. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm gone loony. Uh, basically over this, and they're just freaking out. They go, oh, I think if you don't, well, they're brainwashed. Let's just say it that way. Most people are. Nope. I like to call it the Great Awakening. They haven't had the Great Awakening yet, but I actually sent off their loan to the Treasury, and I'm hopefully that to hopefully get that discharged, and hopefully that will be proof that what I've been trying to teach them and stuff will is true, and maybe they'll be a little bit more open up to this, and I'll try to show you try to make this personal too. So, because I know we all have those family members and people out there that think we're crazy. You know what I mean? So, okay. I will keep you posted on anything that's happening as far as me unregistered my vehicle and when I do this and when I do that. So, like I said, we'll go ahead and sign off, and I will see you next time.